What's up, everybody? Matt of Trades here. So I decided I wanted to just do a quick hot take video about a question that a lot of beginning traders ask and wonder, and that is, how much money do you need to be able to be a full-time day trader? And the answer is not specific. It's very conditional and situational. So I guess we'll go through a couple of scenarios, and hopefully this video gives you a little bit more information about what it takes and how much money you need to be able to be a full-time day trader. So I made a video about this calculator a little bit while back. It's basically a prop firm calculator. You put in your account size and it'll automatically calculate how much money you earn based off of your average return on investment per month. And I'll do YouTube things and bring up a little tab thing that should bring that video up. But I guess for starters, we'll just kind of start with a baseline of $10,000 so you can see what that looks like. So let's say you have an account size of $10,000. And let's say you are able to get a 5% return monthly, which is phenomenal, right? Now, something that this calculator does is it automatically assumes that you are reinvesting everything that you make and that you're trading that money. I might at some point try to edit this calculator and make some adjustments to where you can have a set amount taken out and that the rest is put back in, but for now, that's what we have to work with. So right here is the total amount earned per month, or in that month, and then this is how much you made overall over the course as the months go on, or right here. Now, so 5% of 10,000 is $500, and as you continue to reinvest that $500 that you make, then as you can see, as the months go on, your monthly return increases. Now, let's say you are able to make a return of 10% per month. That changes things quite a bit. So now over the course of that year, you would have increased your account $18,600, or almost doubling it over the course of that 12 months. Now, oh no, so sorry, you would have doubled it. So you would have increased your you would have made $18,600 on 10,000, so you would have doubled it almost twice. So that's really good. But let's say you're wanting to just immediately jump in. You know you know kind of what you can make monthly, and you just want to hop in and trade full time. You're going to need a little bit more money than this, or you're going to need to make a much higher return. So let's assume, I mean, first thing you have to do is establish how much money you need to bring in per month. So let's say, let's say $6,000 is what you've decided is what you need to be able to bring in, stay afloat, get by, and a little bit of extra money to put in savings or whatever you want. So if you needed that much, you would need to make a 60% return every month to be able to get a $6,000 monthly, be able to take $6,000 out, right? Which that's probably not sustainable, right? So let's change up some numbers here, bring that back down to 10%, and let's say you had a $100,000 account, and again, if you needed to make $6,000 a month, you'd only need to make a 6% return on that. See, there you go, $6,000, $100,000, 6% of $100,000 is $6,000. Now this is kind of cool. I mean, this is just more or less the power of compound interest. But if you were to just reinvest that $6,000 every month, at the end, at that very last month, you would have made almost $10,000 just in that 1 month. Now 6% is very doable doing day trading. 10% is actually very doable as well. So if you are a trader that's able to manage a 10% monthly return on $100,000, then you're making $10,000 a month. And if you just reinvest that for a year, on that last month, you would have made $21,000. Now, this is assuming that you're trading your own money. You get to keep 100% of what you make, you know, unless you take out taxes and all that stuff. But when you're figuring how much you need to bring in per month, that's a gross amount. Obviously, you have to pay taxes and you know, yada, yada, yada. But you get to keep 100% of what you make of your own money. Now, there's another way to be able to trade full-time, and you could use what's called a prop firm. Now, basically what a prop firm does is it basically gives you an account to trade, and you keep a percentage of what you make. Now, prop firms, you have to be very careful because the majority of the money that prop firms make are from the costs that they bring in from the tryout fee. So basically, you pay to try out to earn X amount of money to trade. In which case, if you pass that tryout, you get that an account to trade, and then you keep a percentage of what you make. Now, there's a lot of rules. They're pretty strict with how you're able to trade. Like, you can't draw your account down more than 5% in a day, or you can't draw it down more than 8% overall from your high water mark. So, I mean, that's just kind of an example. Different prop firms are going to have different rules. But just know that most prop firms are basically making money off of you, off of people failing those tryouts. But if you are a good trader, and if you are able to, you know, have successful or steady returns, like 10% a month, you could easily take advantage of a prop firm. Now, prop firm is going to take a percentage of what you make. 70% seems to be what's pretty standard, and up to 90% in some cases. But let's say you paid $450 to earn a $100,000 account to trade. So this is where this comes in. So you, let's say you make 10% on that, you get to keep $7,000. And again, same scenario. If you were to reinvest that over the course of the year, on that last month you would have made almost $15,000 in that last month, and you would have made a total of $130,000. Now, obviously, the bigger your account size is, the less return, or the smaller return that is required to make, you know, good chunks amount of money. So let's say you're able to find a prop firm that, and you're able to pass a $250,000 tryout. Now, obviously, that's a big if, but if you do, then the same 10% would have got you $325,000 in a single year, where just the $100,000 got you, I can't remember what that was. Oop. So $300,000 as opposed to $130,000, and that's with the same return. Now, the more money you try out for, the larger account you try out for, the more that tryout costs. So kind of a pretty standard $100,000 account is going to cost you about between $400 and $500 to try out for a $100,000 account. And some prop firms you can scale up. So if you can increase your account instead of taking getting that payout. So you can scale up to larger accounts. Heck, I even know of a prop firm that that say they'll fund up to $2.5 million, which is kind of crazy. I mean, if you were to make just 1% on that, I mean, that's $27,500 just in 1 year. Oh, I didn't even adjust this. Sorry. Okay, that's a big difference. So if you were just to make a 1% return monthly on $2.5 million, I mean, you're going to make $220 million or $220,000 in that year, and then $17,500 just in that first month. I mean, that's comfortable living right there. But let's say you're able to manage, again, standard 10%. I mean, this is just crazy. I guess theoretically it's possible. Theoretically. But I think having I don't know, maybe this is just a mental block on my part, but getting a $100,000 account from a prop firm, if you're able to qualify for that, you are in a position to where you can get yourself to be able to trade full-time, not using your own money, at least initially. So, like I said, 10% of 100,000 is $10,000. You keep 70% of that, so you get paid $7,000. A lot of people, probably most people, are able to live off of $7,000 a month. And right then and there, you could just live off of that, and bada bing, bada boom, you're a full-time day trader. Obviously, there's going to be some fluctuation there, but this kind of assumes an average of 10% a month. And yeah, again, if you want, almost $15,000 a month as opposed to $7,000 a month, just reinvest everything into a trading account. Trade both of these accounts at the same time using trade mirroring. There are services that you can use to trade two accounts at the same time the same way. In which case, do that for a little while. You're gonna get exponential returns as opposed to just living off of that $7,000 a month. Even if you wanted to be a lot more conservative in this scenario, making 5% a month off of a $100,000 account and getting paid 70% of that, you still would have increased your portfolio, your net worth, I guess, by $53,500. And on that last month, you would have made $5,500. Now, you probably might want a little bit more than that to live off of per month. But hey, that's a little over 50 grand that you didn't have before. And again, a tryout like this, most prop firms are going to be looking about between $400 and $500 to try out for this kind of money. Now, you definitely want to be in a position to where you're confident with your trading strategy before you waste a whole bunch of money trying out prop firms and trying to get funded accounts. And that your strategy works with their limitations. So daily drawdowns and trailing drawdowns from your high water mark and such. Now let's go back to if you're trading your own money. So you keep 100% of that, obviously. We'll just zero this out again. So let's say you're a trader and you know that you can get an average about 5% a month, and you want to, I don't know, I like going through scenarios. Let's say you have $10,000 that you're able to dedicate to day trading. Okay. And you want to grow that account to a point to where you could live off of that. So, let's see. Probably going to need, it's going to take longer than a year at least, because at this point you're only making less than $1,000 a month off of 5%. So let's see what it looks like at $20,000. Again, this is assuming that you are averaging a 5% return every month. I honestly need to make this longer, like have that go down further. Okay, so $20,000 averaging 5% a month. On that last month, you're up to $1,500 a month. So let's see what $30,000 looks like now. Okay, now you're making $2,500 a month. Let's see what 50 looks like. Okay, now you're making $3,800 after a year. Let's look at 75. Okay, so if you start out with $75,000, on that last month you would have made almost at the 13th month you would have made $6,000 in 1 month, and at that point, a lot of people are probably in a position to where they could look at doing that full time. Now that's assuming a 5% return. So if you're the kind of trader that is able to manage 5% return, you're probably going to need about $75,000 and a year of reinvesting your gains to get to a point to where you can trade full time, assuming that you need about $6,000 a month to be able to do that full time. Now, let's say you're the trader that's able to manage a 10% return. Okay, it's going to look a lot different. So yeah, just on that first month, 10% return on $7,500, or $75,000, you're going to make $7,500 in that 1 month. Now, let's say you have $20,000 after a year. Where would you be if you reinvested everything? $4,200. Okay, let's see, $30,000. All right, so now if you're a trader that has $30,000 that they're able to commit to day trading with, and if they're able to manage a 10% return, you would need 11 months to get to a point to where you're making an average of $6,000 a month. So if you're a trader that makes 5%, you'll need $75,000 to get to this point. If you're able to make 10%, you only need $30,000 to get to that point. And I say only because it's all relative. I know $30,000 is a lot for most people. Let's just go through some more hypotheticals, just because I'm a math person and data driven, and this is fun. This is fun for me. Okay. So $30,000, if you're able to make a 15% monthly return, you'd only need 4 months. Well, about 3.5 months to get to the point where you're making $6,000. Let's bring this down to 20. Say 20. You would need about 8 months if you're making a 15% monthly return. If you have a $20,000 account, let's see what $15,000 looks like. Alright, so if you're the type of trader that's able to manage about a 15% return, again, it's possible. As a beginner, I probably wouldn't be shooting for 15. I don't know. Anyway, it is possible. But you're the type of trader that's able to make 15%. You would need a year to get up to the point of being able to go full time if $6,000 a month is your goal. If you need $15,000, getting 15%. Now I know a lot of YouTube videos, they kind of do a lot of scenarios and just back testing strategies and stuff, basing it off of a $10,000 account. That seems to be the standard. So if your goal was to be able to day trade full time and you have $10,000 you're able to work with, you would need to average a, let's get this down to the exact percentage here. 19.25. Okay, so you would need to average a 19.25% monthly return every month in order to get to a point to where you're able to pull $6,000 in a month after a year. So again, there's not a simple answer as to how much money you need to be able to become a full-time day trader. A lot of it is going to be dependent on your ability in pulling higher returns and how much money you need to be able to live off of per month. But I don't know, if cash is lacking and you say you don't have $10,000, maybe look into the prop firm option. But again, You also don't want to be wasting thousands of dollars failing a bunch of prop firm challenges. So if you are going to use a prop firm, just make sure that you have confidence in a strategy that is going to work within the confines and rules that a prop firm is going to have. And again, I just kind of want to show you what that looks like. 70. So let's again say that you pass a prop firm challenge. You get a $100,000 account that you paid, let's say, $450 to try out for, and you're again able to get about a 10% return. I mean, at this point, month one, you're already there, getting $7,000. And yeah, we went over this, so we don't need to go over that again. But I don't know, it's just kind of fun to do. It's just kind of fun to go through different scenarios. So yeah, let's say you're able to get a 5% return, and you do get passed for a $100,000 account. It would probably take you about 13-14 months to get to the point where you're earning about $6,000 a month. If you increase that even just to 6%, that's probably going to make a difference there. Yeah, it makes a big difference. So month number 9, you'd be able to quit your day job and start living off of that $6,000 a month. I mean, obviously you want to have enough money in savings to where if you have a losing month, you know, you're not going to be having issues there. Well, anyway, folks, I hope that this has been a helpful video in kind of helping you determine how much you need to become a full-time day trader. Again, the key points is how much you're able to make in a month. Are you going to be trading your own personal money, or are you going to be using a prop firm? So, well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos like this, or some videos on learning how to day trade, please like and subscribe. Until next time.